everybody, and we are working on the Polo Pony Tack. And today we're going to tackle English Bridle. Now I'm just going to do, the Headstall Cabezon. Polo Ponies have two different bits. This is the Weymouth, looks like this. Alright, so that's your Weymouth. And then they also have, it's called a gag bit, but it's a ring bit. The bit looks like that. It looks like this when it's on the horse. If you know how to make a simple snaffle bridle, that's really what this is. I have a card that I've laminated that's got generic measurements for my bridle. This one here is a traditional bridle, and then you fit it afterwards. Now that's normally the way I do it. That way I don't have to have my show model out, because I'm using this guy, and this is the only one I have. So everything is measured to a generic, and then I'll fit it after I've assembled it. All right. First thing is, and I would start with the noseband. So I've already skived all of this, and I've pre-cut it. So basically the noseband is around the nose, and then it's you need an overlap for the buckle. And usually the noseband is a little bit thicker. So look at any of these, but usually the noseband is a little bit thicker, wider. So I'm going to use a 3/32. Brow band can be the same or wider. Brow band can be decorative. But I don't see a lot of decorative in the pictures for Polo Pony. So like here, this is just, you could do 1/16 or 3/32 there, because it's about the same width as the rest. So for the noseband, I'm going to use the 3/32. And like I said, it's already skived. Put a buckle on one end, and then I'll clip to a point on the other end. I'm using Rio Rondo buckles, and your buckle has to match the width of your leather lace. I don't like to have a huge fold over, because that's just extra bulk. So this Aleene's tacky glue takes about 5 seconds. If you use the right amount, use too much, it'll take more than 5 seconds to hold. Okay, and then the other side, I'm going to go ahead and do a house, the roof of a house point. So halfway that way, halfway that way, and then I'm going to leave it flat. What I do want to measure on the model is there's two ways to do to add your strap for the crown, your crown strap. You can just do a fold over, and if you do a fold over, this is going to fit a lot more models. So if you're trying to make it so it'll fit any model, I would just do a fold over and make a loop, and then you glue it. But if you look at some of these, so like, there you go, like on this tie down, they just did a fold over, right? But like on this really simple bridle, if you notice, it's actually cut into a slit and held in place so it doesn't slide around. We're gonna do that. So we are going to have to figure out where to put that on the model. So I'm gonna do upside down, and you can, if you want, to make sure you've got this buckle in the right place, because it's all about where you put this buckle. So I'm just going to do a temporary, because I'm going to mark with a pen, and I want to be very careful to keep this away from my model. So you know that your noseband goes up here, right? If it goes any lower, you can suffocate the horse. And then I want the buckle to be further over on this side, so that the strap is hidden back there. So I don't know how to show how to do that, but anyways, the buckle is over here, just right on the side, and that way I've got room there to do what I need to do. All right, now you want this to be maybe that's better. We want to go straight down, and we want it back from the eyeball, like that. So if I had like, has something that would show you that's where we want it. This is a good model because the eyeball is placed right. Some of them, the eyes are way down here and you end up with getting tack in the eyeball. That's more of a model issue, but this one here, eyeball's in a good place. Okay, so that's my first mark. And then I need to make a mark on the other side. So we're going to, again, just figure out where straight down is, and I'm going to make a mark. And then we'll use a blade and just kind of cut it a 1/16. Just want it open a 1/16 of an inch. And then we need to be able to open it up. I had used my needle on a stick. I kind of like this because it tapers, but you have to be careful not to open it up all the way. Okay, first thing you have to decide is which way do you want the strap to go. So if you want, this is on the back of the, so if I do it this way, my strap's going that way. I do it this way, then my strap is going this way. So you have to figure out which way you want the strap to go. I want the buckle on this side. Okay, so I'm going to open it, and this then is on this side. And then usually your longer strap, this goes over the head, this crown piece, you want that to be on the right side of the horse, which would be your left. And so I open that up, and then I want to slip this in so that it's at the top. I have to be careful not to bust that hole open. Okay, and the cool thing with this is you can, if it gets glued to the noseband, it's fine. All right. All right. If we did that small enough, nobody will see it. All right, and then on this side, if you want to, so I'm going to put this in the hole, which of course does not want to stay open because leather likes to be difficult. There we go. We'll go ahead and now, of course, you can do decorations or put padding. Someone will have like a white padding. I'll use a suede sometimes to do a padding on the noseband, and it's just behind it, so it sticks over on both sides. You can certainly do that. I'm just trying to do pretty basic right now, so you want to, get more detailed. Absolutely, you can do that. Okay, so now we need a buckle on this side. Now, I want to figure out where to put this buckle, so I don't have all three buckles in the same place. And so slightly above the eye is really common depending upon the size of the animal. So, as you can see, it's a little long, my lengths, because I used my card. But remember, you can always trim away extra. You cannot stretch it longer. So it's always better to be a little bit too long than too short. All right, now we're going to need 2 keepers. I would assume by now you know what a keeper is. Usually it's just a little piece of leather that holds the end of the buckle so it's not flapping around and spooking the horse. So we're going to need 2. We need one on this noseband. I'm fitting the nose band. I like where it's at. Okay, so last thing on this piece is to put in the keepers. I'll show you one. I use fixed keepers, and then when I say keeper, this is how you do it for any of the others, okay? So I'm going to get myself some leather lace. I am using my 1/16. So this is really teeny tiny, you know, same as that. And I'm going to put it, you want to put it behind the buckle. Don't do too close, because then it's really hard to buckle. So I usually put it just a little bit back, and then try to make it so this side will fully cover that lace. You see that? So it's kind of a judgment thing. And then I put a little bit of glue on both sides. With this white glue, it's actually better to use less because it'll stick faster. Okay, I might have already said that, but I'm saying it again. Less is more when it comes to the white glue. Right. So that's what your fixed keeper looks like. And I can actually trim off some of this since I know I'm making it specifically for this model. So I'll go ahead and shorten that up. I still have a point. Okay, and then I'll do another keeper on this one here. Okay, the next step is this would be the piece that goes to your bit and that has your throat latch. And that is important. Now you can use 1/16, you know, just a couple strips of that. But usually it's connected at the top. And this is a simple way to do it. Basically, it's a 1/8 inch. So that's 2 1/16, right? This is an 1/8 inch wide piece of leather lace that I made out of tooling leather. I think I used Kip on this one because it skives better than my other, it skives better than the lambskin or the calf skin that I have. And it also skives better than the full cow tooling leather I have. That's a tough hide. Okay, so what you do is one side, the side that's going to have your throat latch, is going to be longer. So you measure it. When you measure it, you're measuring it for the throat latch. Okay, so you want to make sure that your throat latch buckle is going to fit right about there. And then you down here, you want to make sure that you've got, now that's a little bit long because the buckle is going to end up here, but that's about what you're going for, all right? And then you do your slit, and you want the slit to be basically where your brow band's going to be because it'll kind of cover the slit. And then on the other side, so I already slit this side, and if I put it right there, which is right where the brow band is going to be, then I should be able to, this one's going to be a little too, do a finger press on where I want the other slit to end up. Okay, so now I have that finger press, and I'll go ahead and take my razor knife and put that right in the middle of the leather lace, and very slowly and gently I am literally going to split this long ways. Do not rush. It's one of those times when you kind of have to think about every move that your hand is making. And I really shouldn't be cutting on this board, but yeah, I know it's a cutting board, but it's supposed to be a white background so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay. So now I have the headstall, crown piece, whatever you want to call it. I have for the bit, and then I have for the throat latch. Got that? All right. We're going to need 2 buckles and 2 lengths of 1/16 inch, and this will be for the bit. Now this is probably long, but we haven't actually done the bit before. But you want to make sure you have a fold over for when it goes onto the bit, and that it reaches past the eyeballs. This one's a little short, but that's okay, we'll deal with it. I think I skived off the end. All right, so we're gonna put 2 buckles on. Okay, now we need to, just so I remember which side is which, I'm gonna go ahead and put these on here. And then I don't lose them either. So we're going to need 1 more buckle for the throat latch. There we go. And then our brow band. Now I'm going to go ahead and use a piece of 3/32. Now this is, again, something I made. It's a little bit different color. The way the saddle is, though, it actually is the color of the saddle, so keeping that. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is just make a loop, and it doesn't have to be a very big loop. I already measured this to make sure I've got plenty on both sides to make 2 loops. And this always, every model is different on their brow, so we want to make a loop. So anyways, measure it to your horse when it comes to the brow band. Okay, so we're going to do a loop. I'm going to do it on this side. Let's do the loop on this side. And, you know, sometimes I'll have like a concho or something in here to help keep it from slipping. You can do that. You can do all of that cool, funky stuff. I'm not going to, because this is a very simple English bridle. Sometimes I'll have a little piece of wire to split this right in there, so, you know, I've seen them do all sorts of things. All right. Now, we want to make sure I can't see anything coming from the back. If you ever have that, just snip it off. You just go to the side and snip it. I just try to not have it. Okay. And now that I've got that, I need to figure out how big to make my brow band. So, again, hopefully you won't be distracted by the saddle, because I'm too lazy to take it off. So now we're going to make sure it's where I want it on the far side. That already has that. And then I'm going to pull it. And now you can finger press it in either direction. You want to make sure you know where you're going to fold that over. So it makes the loop, and that's where I'm picking. So then I'm going to bring this around, take my finger press, so it's right on the edge, and then I fold it back the other way. Okay. You can certainly mark it if you want with a pen instead, but I find that works really well for me. I don't do a lot of marks on my tack. And then once it's set, you can take the extra off. Extra just means bulk. So if you don't need it, don't do it. Okay. I might want to check that. That's up a little high. Okay. And then we can thread our headstall through. This is going to go behind. And the strap should end up on the side of the buckle for your throat latch. Now obviously you could do this with all the pieces together, and if that's, you know, if you're talented enough to do that, I mean, usually I do that, but for simplicity's sake, I just went ahead and did them as separate pieces. So now we're going to slip this through, and this is so the it'll rest right under here, and it'll be neat and clean. Okay, instead of having 3 16th inch straps up here, now we have one that hides the other one. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and want to make sure it's facing the right way, and it is. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to figure out where we're going to put the buckle for. So this is the buckle side for our throat latch. And so I'll put this on, and you need your crown piece here to be in the right place. All right, that piece has to be in the right place, and that should be right where the split is on both sides. And then we'll go ahead and pull this around, and your throat latch buckle, from what I've seen, should be between here and here. All right, it shouldn't be under here. It needs to be up towards the cheek. Usually this is not real tight, so you're not trying to strangle your horse, so it's going to lay like that, and that means that you want your buckle to be, I would say, right about there. Okay, so see how quickly you're going to buckle build up. And we don't even know where this buckle is going to be yet because we haven't added the bit to the bit piece. So I want to make sure I place this where, where I don't think I'm going to get buckle buildup. And I think right there is good. So I'm going to go ahead and do my, finger press. And I can double check it, finger press. Do I like it there? Yeah, okay, that's going to work. So, and then that's where I'm going to put the buckle. And it looks like, I need to skype that a little. Where the buckle is where you want it thin, so when it folds over you don't see a whole bunch of bulk. Reducing the bulk, that's your third dimension, so you want to do that whenever you can. Why are you being a pain? It's being a pain, so I'm going to just do a little point here so it'll go through. And then other side. I had already cleaned all these buckles too. If you've ever gotten buckles from Rio Rondo, they're connected on the ends, and you need to snip away some of it and file down any rough spots. So I've already done that. There we go. Fold it over. And then I'll go ahead and trim away the excess. That's kind of important because if you're going to put a keeper here, you're probably going to want the keeper right behind here. And if you don't trim away the excess, then you add the extra bulk of that keeper, which is already 2 widths. And so that would be 3. If you kept that, that would be 4. That would be too much bulk. So by doing it that way, I've reduced the amount of bulk that'll show up where that keeper is. All right, so I'm gonna, I'll go ahead and put keepers on. Okay, this is the one I already did. It's got all the keepers, so I've got a keeper here. I might add another one, I don't know, depends after I put the bit on. I definitely need at least one here. I could trim that shorter so I wouldn't need a second one, but a lot of times English bridles will have multiple keepers, one at the bottom, one at the top, depending upon the length of that strap. Okay, just keep that in mind. If it looks trashy without it, like it won't stick together, just use another keeper. But there you go. That is what the headstall, a bridle, English bridle headpiece looks like. And we'll get to the 2 bits in the next videos. But you can also use this for a snaffle as well. So from here, you just put on the bit and the reins, whatever bit it is you plan to use. So thank you for spending time with me today. Like, subscribe, tell your friends about the channel, and have a good day.